Hello, David Snowpeck here from Snowpeck Games, and this is my second devlog about my crazy project to get Retro Tank Party released on Steam on April 20th for my birthday. Retro Tank Party is a 2 to 4 player online multiplayer game built in the Godot game engine using Nakama as the backend server. I am so tired. I am exhausted. I have been burning the candle at both ends, working on this project, trying to get this done. I need a nap. But the good side of that is that I have a lot of things to share with you. A lot of things have been done since my last devlog. So, exciting news, the Steam page is live. You can go check it out. There's a link in the description below. There's so much that has to be done in the Steam backend to get a Steam page live. You have to make like a minimum of 15 images at different resolutions with different requirements about their content and so much stuff. I think probably 3 or 4 of the days of the last like week and a half were just on getting the store page live. But it's live, so go check it out. Wishlist it. You don't have to buy it. Just wishlist it, even if you don't intend to buy it. Please, it'll make me feel good. There's a trailer, because a trailer is one of the requirements of one of the things that to get a Steam page live. Because this project is so short, because I only allocated 6 weeks to do it, I've kind of had to like triage everything. Like I kind of have to say everything that needs to get done needs to be done at a minimum level, and then once all of those things are done at a minimum level, with the remaining time, like maybe I can go back and make things better. So I couldn't spend a lot of time making this trailer. In fact, I gave myself 1 night to do it. You know, it would have been great to get some new gameplay footage, to spend more time editing it, to spend more time looking for the right music and stuff, but I just had to get it done. So I was using old gameplay footage back from 2019. I just, listened to a couple CC0 Creative Commons songs, picked one, threw it in there, got it up, but I think it turned out pretty good. Go to the Steam page, check it out. I'll probably at some point post it here on YouTube as well. I had to figure out making builds for Steam. Steam has Steam Pipe, their technology for accepting builds and then distributing the updates to the users, which is interesting. It's a very complex system, but I like it. I was able to set up GitLab CI to push to Steam every time I push a commit to a special Steam branch. It'll do the Windows and Linux build and upload those to Steam, and then I just have to go into the Steam interface, the log into Steamworks, and say, okay, that build that I just pushed, I want to make that the default build, and it's live. So tutorial coming eventually about how you can use GitLab CI to do the same, to push your games to Steam automatically. I also have Steam login working, so previously with the game, you would start up for the first time. It would ask you to log in with an email and password or create a new account. Now it's able to log in to Nakama, to the server, just from your Steam credentials. So it knows who you are because you started the game from Steam. And also tutorial coming for that eventually, how to set up Godot, Steam, and Nakama to do the login process. So really, like, those 3 things, but mostly the first 2, the store page and the build stuff, like that took up the majority of the time since the last devlog. So yeah, I was really hoping to get more like concrete developments on the game done, but still like a lot of other things were done too. I did 2 game dev streams, which were awesome. I had streamed a number of times in the past, back in like 2019, and it was so hard. It was stressful and exhausting, and I didn't really like it. But I thought I'd give it a try again, and I really had a great time. I had a really great time. I think I'm going to keep doing them, in fact, unless I am too exhausted and completely run out of energy and fall down. But I've been doing them on Fridays from 10 a.m. to noon Central Daylight Time. It's daylight savings time now, so daylight time. Yeah, I'm still kind of trying to find my rhythm with streaming. The first stream, I picked some very visual and interesting things to work on, and it went so good. Like, they were the perfect things to pick for the stream, relatively easy things, visual, exciting. The second stream, I picked something more thinky. And it kind of didn't work. I still had a lot of fun, and it was still great, interacting with chat and doing it. It was good, but I think all of the code that I wrote is gonna just have to be thrown out because I wasn't able to like really do the thinking necessary to implement it well. And I also think that it was boring for the people watching, like going through something very thinky and less like visual and exciting. But one of the really fun things about streaming development of an online multiplayer game is that we can playtest the game, which was super fun. We were using mostly the web builds, so like I can make whatever changes on stream, push them to GitLab. GitLab CI will make the web build, push it out to a URL, and then everyone can just go to that URL and we can play together. Which is just super cool. It's super cool to have that kind of like feedback and interaction. On the first stream, doing that playtesting, a user, Salary Cat, had some trouble connecting, which inspired me to finally set up a turn server for the game. The game uses WebRTC, so it's peer-to-peer mesh-based networking. And previously, I just had I was using a free stun server, which I don't want to get too technical, but basically it allows the different peers to find each other to make these direct connections to each other. But if a peer is not finding any way to connect to the other peers, you can also have a turn server, which will relay the traffic in this case where they just can't connect. And like, okay, well, if I'm going to be putting this game on Steam and charging money for it, even though it's going to be a tiny amount of money, like I really should have it set up so that anyone can play no matter how weird their router is or their ISP or whatever. So I set up a turn server. On the second stream, Salary Cat came back, did another playtesting session, and it worked. Yay! And then yesterday, I was at a game dev meetup that I'm a member of, and another one of the members there was talking about how he was looking at PlayFab for his online multiplayer game, and talking about how PlayFab has relay servers that are in all different regions around the world, and they just charge you based on the amount of bandwidth you push through them. It was like some amount of cents per gigabyte, and I was like, whoa, that sounds awesome. Like, if I were to try and make my game have turn servers in all these different locations, I'd have to spin up all of these servers and manage them, and the cost would be relatively high and the amount of maintenance would be relatively high. So I actually went out and said, is there a thing like this for turn servers that I could use for WebRTC? Of course there is. I just hadn't thought to look for it. So I ended up switching to using Twilio's turn servers, which you pay like 40 cents per gigabyte transferred, and we'll see how that works. I'm excited to see how the cost and performance and accessibility works, right? Because we'll try and do a lot more playtesting and with different people in different locations and see how it stands up. So my fish game tutorial finally came out. Fish game is this example project that I was making for Heroic Labs, the creators of Nakama. It's another Godot game with Nakama as the backend, but you're like little fish guys that try to kill each other. Another 2 to 4 player online game. The tutorial finally came out on Heroic Labs blog, and so I ended up taking a day to record a video for that and promote it. And I ended up using basically all my time that day. I mean, not literally all of the time during the day, because like I'm not a full-time game dev, so it's like this time that I have aside from my job and aside from my family that I can allocate to game dev. I ended up using all of it on doing that, so I kind of lost a day. But I think it was worth it. I think the response to that was really good, just getting more knowledge out there about how to make online multiplayer games with Godot and Nakama. We've been doing daily playtesting Monday through Friday. Join the Discord if you want to get involved in that. Link in the description below. I'll give a free Steam key to anyone who comes and helps with playtesting once I have Steam keys. I don't have any yet because my game build was rejected by Steam, which I think a lot of people don't know this. I certainly didn't know it until I started working through this process. But there is a lot of human review involved in getting a game on Steam. I think everyone has this kind of conception that like, oh, they'll let anyone put anything on Steam, but there's actually like all of this human review baked in. So when you finish the store page, you say it's ready for review, and then someone will go and review that and give feedback. My first submission was rejected. I had to make some changes, and then it got accepted. Same with the build. You say the build is ready for review. A person actually plays it. They play your game and make sure that your game does all of the things that you say it does up to the requirements that Steam has. So if you say your game is an online multiplayer game and they go and play it and be like, there's no online multiplayer here, they like won't let you post it on Steam. So nothing to quality, but trying to make sure that your game, at least in some regard, does the things that it says it does. So my build, my initial submission of my build got rejected for two reasons. The first was that the reviewer couldn't actually connect, couldn't actually get multiplayer to work, which is like the worst possible thing that could happen for a game that is like only online multiplayer. And I'm not entirely sure why that was. I have a couple of theories. One of them is that it was the same issue as Salary Cat, that we didn't have the turn servers. So now having this network of global turn servers through Twilio, I'm hoping that'll help. Also, I was kind of messing with the server during the period of time when the reviewer was reviewing in trying to get that Steam login set up. So it could also have been that I was taking it up and down and making configuration changes when they were trying to test. So I'm hopeful that the new build that I submitted will get accepted. I did it just before starting recording this video, so we'll see. Anyway, next week I'm going to focus on adding more polish to the game to try and make it releasable. My goal is to get it to a state where it's polished enough that I could just release it no matter what. No matter if I don't get any new features in it, it's polished enough that I could release it anytime, and then after that, add whatever features I can sneak in. I'm going to work on a macOS build. I actually already do have a macOS build, but it's not notarized by Apple, which is a thing you have to do if you want to get a macOS build on Steam. And I kind of wish that I didn't have to do it, but my friend Elliot, who is like the most enthusiastic supporter of Retro Tank Party, who's involved in all the playtests and all the streams, he is a Mac user. I don't think I could do this without Elliot, so I need to get a Mac build for Elliot. So that's going to be one of my focuses for next week. I'm going to get around finally to refactoring the game to allow new game modes. That's what I was trying to do on the last stream that I kind of unsuccessfully didn't really do. But I think game modes is the biggest feature necessary to make this really a worthwhile game. So if I have time, I'll get into that. And I'm going to not make any tutorials this week. And possibly not until after this project is done. I had this vision that I'd be working on this project, and as I did a new thing, like getting GitLab CI to push to Steam, or figuring out how to get Steam login on Nakama, like I'd go right away and make a tutorial about it so that kind of build to the excitement of this project. But I don't think I'm actually physically going to be able to do that. Like just making that fish game video, I lost a whole day on that. Like I need to focus on this, and at least for this week, for sure, I'm not going to be putting out any tutorials. Maybe the week after, I'll have a different outlook on the project and start making some more educational stuff. Or maybe I'll have to wait until the game is published on Steam. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling for now. Hopefully some bit of that was interesting. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.